start walking on four legs, start barking like a dog, eating apple like a dog. Does that make me a dog? Yeah. No. In the core of myself, everybody knows I'm a human. That's the same thing. Just because you come in the church, you know the lingo. You say, hey, brother, God bless. You know all the songs. You know how to walk. Doesn't necessarily mean you're a Christian. You're known by a Christian by your acts. Your acts will bring forth fruit. It's like the saying goes, the proof is in the pudding. It's this because you say you're a Christian doesn't necessarily mean you're a Christian. Why? Because you don't act like it. You may do it out in public. You may do it where everybody can see you, but deep down, when no one's there, when no one's around, when just you and God, you and your true character, God knows who you truly are. God knows if you're a true Christian. Because you have to be born of the Spirit. This is like we read in the very beginning of the sermon. What born is of the flesh is of the flesh. What born of the Spirit is of the Spirit. God wants us to, when people look at us, we want them to see God, not ourselves. If we see ourselves ain't nothing. Ourselves can't get us into heaven. We tried it. Everybody here tried it. We all tried our own ways. We all tried the drugs. We all tried the alcohol. We tried the gangs. We tried sex. We tried vengeance. None of that works. None of it. I tried it myself. I did everything you could possibly think of underneath the sun. I sold drugs. I did some stuff that I'm not proud of because I thought that would make me happy. At the end of the day, after all my drugs were sold, after my gun was empty and my bed was full, I still felt empty on the inside. Why? Because deep down, I knew that all that stuff would not get me into heaven. And I know everybody here wants to make it to heaven. Nobody here wants to be left behind. But you have to be changed at the core, at the very center of your being. You have to be changed. They have to see Christ in you. They have to know that you're a Christian, not just say you're a Christian. Because people can spot a phony. People can spot a phony from a mile away. They could be dressed in a nice suit and tie, but they know you're a phony. For those that have friends, they know you're coming to church, and as soon as something arises, and you snap, and you go back your way, man, that's just the old Reuben. He's still the same thing. He's not going to change. But when something comes up, and they'll look at you and say, is he going to snap? Is he going to beat that guy up? Is he going to start cursing? Is he going to pull out a gun like he used to? But you stay calm. You stay calm and you let God take control. They know on the inside, man, that guy's changed. Because I know the way he used to be. I know he just snapped at a second. I know anybody can go to him. He's not afraid to throw a punch. But that guy got in his face. And he got right there in his face. And he stood still. Man, there's something going on in that person. There's something changing in that person. I see the way he lives. Man, I want that happiness. I want that joy. And that joy only comes from being changed on the inside. From being changed on your inner core, not from the outside. Because we can change this. We can change this like when someone's trying to work out. You can say, oh, I'm working out. I'm going to the gym. 2 months down the road. 3 months down the road, you're getting fat, you're getting big, not fat, you're getting heavier. They know you're not going to the gym. They know you're a liar. They know that the proof is in the pudding. But when you say, I'm going to the gym, and you start getting a little bigger, your arms start growing stronger, you're able to lift more stuff, they know you're telling the truth. They know, hey, man, that guy's for real. That guy's really going to the gym. That guy's doing something. Man, look at me. I'm a little heavy. I want to be like them. Let me start going with them. Let me start changing my lifestyle so I can be like that. Same thing goes for Christ. Same thing goes for Christians. We all know the way we used to be. We all know the way we used to be, amen? Yeah. But when they start seeing that change, they start seeing that glow of God in you, they come up to you, man, Reuben, you don't look the same. What happened? What you do? It was God. God did this change in me. He could do the same for you. Amen. But that doesn't happen if you don't change at the very core of our being, at the very center of what we're made of. If we don't change, if we don't become born of the Spirit, hallelujah, like it says in John 3, verses 1 through 7. Again, that is born of the flesh is of the flesh. That is born of the Spirit is of the Spirit. We have to change our spirit. We have to change the inside. Because the outside can't change. Yeah, we may go out to the gym and work out, but that's not going to get us to heaven. It has to be a spiritual change, an emotional change, a mental change. And that can only come from God. That can only come from changing. It's like we read In Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, be ye transformed, renewing your mind daily. Not just for one day. Not just, well, I read the Bible one day and I'm good for the whole entire week. That doesn't work. If you're trying to lose weight and you go to the gym once a week, that's not going to bring any change. You have to go consistently. You have to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Then eventually you start seeing change. Just like us as Christians, reading one verse, or maybe coming to service once a week and just catching that one sermon, that's not going to change us. We're still going to be the same thing because we're not feeding the inner man. We're not feeding the soul. Outside of church, we got to go outside of church and still read, even though it seems hard, even though we don't want to. We got to do it. Why? Because we will never change on the inside. There will never be a true change if you don't put any effort towards it. Amen. Let's read that verse one more time. Romans 12, 1 and 2. Give me a good amen when we're there. We'll go back to it one more time before we close. Romans 12, 1 and 2. Amen. And it reads, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Be not conformed to the world, but be ye transformed. I read again. Be not conformed to the world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove that what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. What I'm saying here, we got to transform. We got to change the way we're living. We can't be the same way. Because if you're living the same way, you're not born of the Spirit. You're born of the flesh. And the flesh will never make it to heaven. The flesh will never make it to heaven. I don't care who lies to you. I don't care how many people say, well, it's okay. You could go and sin. No. That's not going to make it to heaven. Because we tried it that way. Many men have tried it that way. The only person to ever make it to heaven on his own accord is Jesus Christ, because he was perfect. And we're not perfect. So we got to be as much as Christ as we can. Again, it may be hard. We may be made fun of. It's like it said back in Matthew 24, 1 through 4. We will be persecuted. But it's all for the honor and glory of God. Doesn't matter what it is. We know we're going to make it to heaven. They might say, man, brother, why are you going to church? Why are you going to church? Sit down and relax. Drink, smoke a bud. Drink a beer, have fun. No, that's not going to make it to heaven. That's not going to help you. That's going to make you be more like the world. When God said, be ye transformed. Amen. Renew yourself. Don't be like the old person. We can't be like the old person. I can't be the old Reuben. Because the old Reuben will never, ever, ever make it to heaven. I don't care how many good deeds I do. If I don't renew myself at the core and people don't see Christ in me, I will never make it to heaven. I'm just another phony. May I say it? I'm just another Jehovah's Witness. I am just another Mormon. I'm just another one of those fake faiths out there that won't make it to heaven because they're teaching lies. But we're here teaching the truth. Yes. And I recommend everybody to go back and read every scripture that I read. Read it and study it. Because this is the truth. I'm not speaking out of the side of my neck. And if I am, God help me. Come on now. But this is the truth of God. This is the gospel of God. That's my time. Every head bowed. Every eye closed this evening.